Hello, everybody, and welcome to Energized Living Today. I'm Cindy Kubika, and we are going to have a very special evening. And I'm just so grateful that you are here joining us today. I'm grateful for all of you who are on Zoom. I see a lot of beautiful faces here. And BJ King is our special guest. And of course, producer Ferris L. Poole is here. And he's going to be helping with moderate everything this evening. And, I have heard from so many people. People have been writing in. They're concerned about the coronavirus. They have a pretty high level of fear. There's so much chaos going on in the world. What the heck is going on? What are we witnessing? Well, BJ King is here to tell us what is going on, explain a little bit about what is going on, what we can do about it, and then she's going to guide us in a meditation. And I am just so grateful, BJ, that you are here. And I want to thank you.
Thank you. I'm grateful to be here. When Ferris suggested that we do it, I knew virtually nothing about the virus. I don't watch television anymore at all. And I've explained to God, if something is my business to know about, you can send it, either send it direct or send it to Shayla. And then Shayla will call and tell me about it, because I'm not going to expose myself to everything that's going on out there, because then it just gets overwhelming. But if you give me a direct assignment like this one, I'm on it. I'm for it. So I appreciate the fact that you and Ferris picked up on it at the same time God did, and that we were going to get together and talk about it to the best of my ability. The most important thing that the viewers can remember is that when I speak, you need to keep your discernment turned on, because I'm not spouting the truth. I'm spouting my opinion, which is based on 40 years of working with the spiritual hierarchy of this universe. So you want to take it in, check it out, only keep the part that registers with your own truth. Okay?
I think that's beautiful. And it really aligns with what I hear from different people. It's like different people are given different um, views of things,
Absolutely.
and they have different discernment,
Hmm.
and it creates a whole picture if we are open.
Right.
I love
And
that.
yeah, and if we're paying attention, right.
Exactly.
So the first thing that the Spirit said whenever I asked about this virus was that it is man-made and that it was created by a consortium. And I'm like, could you spell that for me? And so I looked it up on Google, and it says a group of business people meeting together with a single goal. And I thought that was very interesting. But then when we went further with it, they also were talking about other viruses that have been man made and exposed humanity to different viruses for different purposes. The largest purpose is for pharmaceutical companies to have a lot of business. So every year there's a new influenza virus, and it's worse than last year, and therefore you must go get your shot to not have the virus. So if we look at who's making the serum for the shot, we see where the money is accumulated, right? So if we look at history, we've had the plague, we've had diphtheria, we've had smallpox. Remember historically when the white people exposed the blankets to the smallpox virus before they gave them to the Indians. So we're talking about use of nefarious purposes. Also, if you remember, back in September 15th, I was given a prophecy that the white supremacist movement was getting ready to come on full bore on the planet. So their goal is to reduce the population of Earth, starting with all those who are not Aryan, not white, not Aryan. So this is sort of the tip of the iceberg of the beginning of that wave of energy coming through the globe to take out different races of people, or limit, diminish different races, nationalities. So one of the biggest populations on the planet reproducing is China. And so logically they would start this one in China and Indonesia and that whole area of the country.
Is this something that can be stopped? Or is this
Yes. 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 But we can't stop something until we know the source of it.
Mm.
We can't really, because you can't work on the disease itself. Our job, God gave us 49 different rays of energy that we can call on for different purposes. And the 18th ray invokes it, which is the ray of science and medicine. And if we invoke that and the masters of that ray and the angel of that ray, the angel is Suphenius and the masters are the master Zoser and the master Hermes. So they obviously are in other dimensions because they are ascended, and their job is to give down to humans the insights, the formulas, the inventions that help in medical and science as far as new things being created are concerned. So it's a step down of higher vibrational knowledge into the human minds that are open and paying attention. Unfortunately, everybody who gets an inspiration doesn't use it in a positive way. So you can take what are called the elements. If you've heard of the table of elements, they're like 99, or now they're adding different ones. So if you're a chemist and you take the elements and you sort out and take the ones that will create a virus, then what you would want to call on spiritually and energetically are the elementals that control the elements. Are you following that? Okay. So if we have the masters that give the intuition to researchers and scientists and medical practitioners, and we also have then in the angelic realm, one of the levels of the angelic realm are elementals. And the elementals only take orders from humans. So we would have to give the elementals orders to decrease the possibility of viruses being created and controlled. So it's like when we're working on atomic weapon situations, we call forth the elementals to degrade the quality of the elements involved in building, let's say, a nuclear device or something like that, some kind of weapon. So this is a biological weapon. So the same theory holds true that we go to the highest vibration that we can contact, which are these masters and this angel, to orchestrate giving intuition and solutions. Solutions is a big word because we don't want to call forth an answer. We don't want to call forth how to fix it. We want to call forth a solution. A solution dissolves a thing. Fixing it, you got to refix it. An answer, you got to figure out what to do with the answer. But if you ask for a solution, then they can send down an energy that dissipates whatever it is that's been miscreated energetically. One of the most prevalent ones that's been around for years and years and years, and almost everybody on the planet has it in some version of their anatomy, is the Epstein-Barr virus, which is one of the ones that affects our immune system, as far as I understand it. So that's one that we definitely would like to work on in terms of getting a solution for the Epstein-Barr virus from the masters and the angel, so that um, the when we look at this energetically, the coronavirus, we also, it would be useful to look at the hantavirus, the SARS virus, the herpes virus, the AIDS virus, the coronavirus, the influenza virus, and the Epstein-Barr virus. All of that is coming from the same place. The, the energy for that to attack humanity is all coming from one place, or not one place, several places, but part of the same consortium. So we've got economics as a result of producing viruses. You've got the medical and pharmaceutical part of the economic story of why they want to do this. The other part of it is to decrease population. There's a whole faction of the human population that thinks they're in control, who want to decrease, feel like we're overpopulated, that we don't have enough resources to handle all of the population. So their desire is to decrease the population of Earth. And part of that goal, depending on, it's like creating a less violent Holocaust. Okay. That
Mm-hmm.
was the terminology Spirit used. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing it the way, what's his name did it in Germany, we're not going to use names, hopefully. What happened in Germany was very in your face, kill you off, lock you up kind of thing. But we have grown as the human species. So we're still creating wars for that purpose, to get rid of part of the population, which has always been one of the purposes of war, to get rid of part of the population. So in this case, it's going to be the same idea as the Holocaust, only more subtle, because it's going to happen organically, not face to face. So one of the best things that we can do for ourselves is protect ourselves. And when we look at the atmosphere of Earth right now, energetically, it's filled with thought forms that cause anxiety, fear, paranoia, just ugly things. And so there's all this anxiety. And if a person is still operating empathically, which most of the world is, still have their emotional body wide open, and they're floating around in the atmosphere of Earth as a sponge. They're absorbing fear, anger, and paranoia. Every other advertisement you see on television is an anti anxiety drug, right?
Mhm.
If you watch television. At least it was back when I was watching TV. So it's probably even worse now. So the first step in overcoming what caused part of this is learning to ground yourself and learning to put bubbles of protection, energy protection around you, and committing to not merging emotionally with other people's bodies. You merge only with your soul, and from your soul, you merge with their soul. You do not merge emotionally, which is also going to nullify a lot of the emotional confusion and conflict on the earth if we change the way we operate as human beings and operate from soul to soul rather than personality to personality or emotions to emotions. So that's the first step in handling what's going on. And it's the first step in what will decrease a person's anxiety about the viruses and the paranoia of what if it spreads to the United States? That's obviously the big deal. So my source, non multi-dimensional source, human source, explained to me today that I will call it the State of the Union, the head of the State of the Union, has already put out on Twitter that the vaccination is already created. So if you create a virus and you create a vaccination at the same time, you've got economic wow, right?
Mhm.
Everybody get it, everybody run down and get it punctured with the answer and pay your $10 or whatever they're going to charge for it. But whoever's creating the virus is also creating the vaccination, not the cure, just the vaccination. So I'd like to stop right there myself, but I'm not going to get to.
Okay.
Oh.
I have a question about that
Okay,
because I'm not getting any more vaccinations. I still have I got a Tdap shot. My granddaughter's getting ready to give birth in 30 days, and within the 30 days, and I had to have a Tdap shot, which I did on December. What was it, Ferris? 23rd, and I think that's right. And it's diphtheria, whooping cough, and tetanus.
right,
And I have been sick since.
right.
My arm is so painful, I can't always lift it. They
And
where
see,
the
those are
puncture
three,
is.
yeah, those are the three other man-made viruses.
Mm. Well,
See,
where they gave the injection, it keeps bubbling up and popping open and bleeding. And
exactly,
here it's been 2 months, almost 2 months,
right.
and it's still going on. And they just kind of like, well, sometimes those things happen, and I'm like, I can't lift my arms someday. I'll
And
wake
they demand that the school children have it, or that the babies have it, in the beginning. So it's a horrendous sales pitch that you got to have this to keep from having, in this case, diseases that are really no longer as prevalent as they were when they came out with that particular vaccination. But the insidiousness of it is all economically based. The whole thing is economically based. So you have to have a reason. You got to have a scare. You got to have a disease that you can put a name on. And then you create, supposedly, a preventative. So that then the people are afraid of the thing. And so they go for the preventive, not the cure. And nobody wants to have the disease, you know. But even if you get the disease, of course, then they have other medical ways or pharmaceutical ways to deal with the after effects or the symptoms of the disease. So it's the whole thing from many different directions is an economic battle, economic cause, economic battle, economic result. You have a lot of people whose weakened immune system, and then you have all of these drugs and uh, herbs, all these things that can be sold for economic purposes to undo what is being deliberately done and has been apparently for generations, because we're talking about, starting with the plague, which was to get rid of a bunch of people in Europe, mostly in Europe. It spread to other places, but in the beginning, it was mostly a war on the people of Europe. And it was an organic war, it was a virus war. And traditionally, they blame all of these things on mice, which are the easiest for them to indoctrinate, and the thing that will multiply faster than anything except rabbits, apparently. And that's so they can blame it on rodents, the spreading of it on rodents. And now this one, they're decided to use bats as well as rodents. So when you look at it, and the thing that made me want to stop is at that point you had to come up with a conspiracy theory that, and I have been anti-conspiracy theory. Um, but it's it's huge. The whole thing is huge. But we can't just go at it as far as I'm aware. We can't you can't hit it physically. You have to, just like Einstein said, you can't solve a problem at the level that you created it. So in order to take any steps toward reversing, getting a solution and reversing the result of what has been created, is we will go to a higher authority to get it. Okay. So at this point, we're going to go into meditation.
Okay.
Holy Mother, Father, God of light, divine creator of all that is, we open ourselves as power channels for the Holy Spirit and the truths of God. We open ourselves to the energy of light, the energy of truth, the energy of the Creator. We deliberately anchor ourselves in the energy of the great central sun at the center of the Milky Way, and bring that energy through our body and connect to the great central sun at the core of the earth. We open our heart and love and appreciation to our own souls. And we send a beam of energy from our heart through the high heart, through the point of the midbrain. And we deliberately activate our pituitary and pineal gland. And we send this beam of energy through all levels of our own oversoul, including the Ascended Master octave of light. We take a deep breath and we hold it at the point of the midbrain, and we think to ourselves the number three, three, three times, and exhale. We take another deep breath, hold it at the point of the midbrain with intention, counting two, 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 and exhale. We take a third deep breath at the point of the midbrain, one, 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 and exhale. And now mentally, slowly counting backward from 10 to 1, we allow our bodies to become more and more relaxed. And we go deeper and deeper inside ourselves. 10, 9, 8. Remember to breathe. 7, going deeper, more and more relaxed. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are now at a deeper level of mind, a level of mind that allows us to separate our consciousness safely from our physical body. And now, wherever you are, hearing the sound of my voice, keep listening to the sound of my voice. Allow your consciousness to separate, and now intention, joining with all of us in space. All levels of our oversoul are coming to join us in space. We've created and will create an enormous configuration of energy. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people joining together in one thought and one intention. One planet, one people with one purpose for peaceful coexistence of all life. And through our authority and our intention, we move this massive form of energy over China. And we call forth the 18th ray, the opalescent lavender ray of science and medicine. And we invoke the angel Sophonius, the Master Zoser, and the Master Hermes to infuse this energy with healing and the diamond light of the Creator for healing and protection. And we rain down through the bodies, creating this enormous vortex of human intervention. And we rain down this ray of energy into every physical person and every embryo in China, in Indonesia, in the Philippines, and any other country where this virus has spread or will spread. And we see this beautiful, crystal clear diamond light taking on this job of solution, of healing, of dissolution of this virus, dissipating its effects, dissipating its origination. And we call forth legions of angels to be with the people who are affected. We ask for the Archangel Michael to escort the souls who have already released themselves from their bodies through this virus's intervention, taking them into the light that they can continue to grow and prosper. And as this energy continues to rain down on the earth, we ask it to also reverse and dissipate the hantavirus and all of its effects, the SARS virus and all its effects, the herpes virus and all its effects, the AIDS virus and all its effects, the coronavirus and all its effects, and all varieties of the influenza viruses. And as this diamond light comes down through space, it begins to enter into the vortex of Earth, into the bodies of all people on the Earth. And as they enter, the diamond light enters the bloodstream of each individual on the Earth. It dissipates the conditions of the virus and the people of Earth. And we invoke the elementals of all the elements on Earth. And we ask that they disallow the continuation of the creation of using their elements for the creation of deadly biological warfare. We breathe this into our own systems, creating protection, creating armor of the diamond light of the Creator. And we see it now entering every aspect of human life, every aspect of animal life. And we ask this to be true of all known viruses and all unknown viruses. And we stand before the Karmic board and we present this circumstance to the Karmic board. And we ask for divine karmic intervention into the hearts, mind, and lives of the people who have chosen this path of destruction. We ask that their higher selves and their angels begin to influence them to cease to create this abominable result. We see these viruses in human form already disintegrating, already flowing throughout and away from the bodies of humanity. And as this diamond light of the Creator replaces the spaces in the blood, in the brain, in the body and tissue and muscles of humanity, we see the spaces being replaced by this diamond light of the Creator and cosmic Christ consciousness. We see each person on the planet receiving this gift of grace, of healing, and we see their bodies triple sealed against any further intervention from any form of that virus, either created by humans or created by any other version of life. And as the elementals dissipate the elements that created the structure to begin with, we see it being dissipated, erased. And we feel the power and the earth's insurgence and the energy of grace entering every human body, every animal body on the planet, bringing perfection, bringing divine will, bringing the first ray, the ray of the will of God for planet Earth and for humanity. Perfection. One people, one planet, and now perfect coexistence for all life. Erasing competition, greed, anger, fear, hatred, as it dissolves and washes away and no longer exists. And we now invite all the levels of our soul to return to the dimension from which they came to help us with this project of healing of Earth and humanity and all life on the Earth. We see them ascending and we feel the love that they send us. And we feel ourselves energized by this activity. We feel ourselves have strength, calmness, health, releasing all fear, all anxiety as the energy washes through our bodies. And we now call forth our soul to rejoin our body. And as we become conscious, we agree to be conduits for the energy of God for all of humanity. And because it has been promised, and because it has been spoken, and because it is now accepted by us as so, so it is. Amen. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you all for showing up and being willing to participate in this. One of the things I would like to encourage people to do is to claim the power that's available to us. The angels are all unemployed until we give them an assignment. Call them forth. Give them something to do. The elementals only take their job to do what humanity asks of them. So we ask them to participate only in positive experience, positive creation.
BJ, can we take a moment and just see if there is, and by the way, Ferris, you got to fix this camera. I don't know what's wrong with it. My whole camera's goofy. Anyway, can we take a moment and just, I want to talk about this program that you're going to be doing for us. It's a mini program, which is the 49 rays. And do you want to introduce that to everybody? And then I'd like to just hear people's experiences during that meditation. Is that okay with you?
Yes, we have someone named Janice Nally. I think I'm saying that right.
What you got, Janice?
Strawberries out of the water and rinse them, or they're going to be mush.
You better get those strawberries rinsed.
Oh, I think she didn't know she was on.
Okay.
Well, if you want to share your experience, if you'll just put your hand up, does everybody know how to do that?
Since first grade. I didn't go to kindergarten. I'm too old for kindergarten.
Just don't give us this or this.
Yeah.
Okay, just raise your hand or just do this.
I love the new one. Don't you love the new one?
No, what is that one?
A heart.
Oh. And by the way, our handout that you asked me to put up is in chat for anyone to download. And I'm going to be, of course, sending out a replay email later, and I will include a link to download that as well in the replay email.
This is an article that God wrote about how to overcome being empathic and how to protect yourself. So I feel like, or your souls felt like, it was the most important information for me to gift you with tonight. So I hope you will read it and practice it. A lot of people refuse to do the grounding process because it only takes 2 minutes, and so they don't think it could possibly work if it only takes 2 minutes. And if it doesn't cost anything, it's obviously useless. But I tell you, it will save your life, it will save your sanity, and it will save you from disease.
Farrah, Sue wanted to know, was it Sue? Yeah, how to raise your hand. So
you know what? I don't know because I don't have a hand on my screen.
Okay.
As an administrator, I don't have that.
Okay. All right. Well, just do this, and why don't you go ahead and find Sue Ferris and just unmute her.
Okay. Sue, you are unmuted.
Oh, now I have to think of something to say. Yeah, I did want to know how to do that, though. Yeah, I totally agree with everything that was said.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know. The issue I have these days is an amazing thing is happening to me, and that wherever it is that I agree with everything that you said, is just an absolute certainty in me that I've always known. My father used to talk about this when I was a kid too, but then I didn't think about him for 40 years. But I'm certain, and I come up to people who are depressed and anxious, and I just know that this is like, just have this absolute blazing confidence. And if I show that to people, they get mad at me.
It
And
makes it
I
makes
don't know how
it makes some folks uncomfortable for sure. But knowingness is the highest form of spiritual awareness, way beyond seeing or hearing. Knowingness is the ultimate. That's what we want to go for, is knowingness. So I am thrilled that you have it.
Oh, okay, good. And I need to know how to raise hands just in case I ever want to try to Zoom and talk to people. So that's why I needed to know.
Ferris and I can't see the hands. So if somebody could tell us exactly where it is, that would be great. Where you see it. I know that you have to have chat open on the side.
Yeah.
So at the bottom where chat is and the members, that's, or the participants, if you have that open, then the hand is supposed to be there somewhere.
And you can write your question there, and Cindy or somebody will read it and say it out loud. Someone just now asked, where do we get the grounding meditation? And that's exactly what Ferris was saying, that he's putting in the chat.
Yeah, it's in chat. All you got to do is download it.
Available for you to download it yourself. Yeah.
It's right there. If you just scroll up a little bit, if it's not there, because chat has been going on. So if you just scroll up a little bit, you'll find it.
And it'll be there'll be a link to it in the replay email as well.
Is it the share button? Mary says, is that question? Is it the share button?
I think that it's a button that actually appears next to your name. If you can see your name, I think.
Oh yeah,
there.
Yeah, beside your name. If you bring your cursor up beside your name to the right, and the little thing will pop up and say more, I think. Or
yeah, I think that's right, but I'm not sure.
I keep forgetting, and as administrator, I don't have it on my screen, so I can never look at it again, and I have to look it up every time before we start, so I can tell people, and I forgot to look it up.
And they're asking, did you post the chat to everyone? Because
yes.
I don't see it, they say.
Yep, posted it to everyone.
Yeah, at the bottom, you actually have to.
You'll have to scroll up to 7:41 p.m. in chat. I promise it's there.
Yeah, and make sure that you have participants clicked and also chat so that it appears to the side of your screen.
YouTube chat. YouTube.
You know what? I need to check. Give me a second here to check YouTube chat, because I'm not sure I can upload a file to YouTube chat.
Oh, okay, but we can put a link to wherever we want them to go download it. I do want to talk about the program, BJ, that you're doing on February 27th. And this is the 49 Rays of God and their uses. And this is very special. Everyone's invited. It's only $29. And BJ just feels like this is so imperative that people not only know about the rays, but are using the rays and know how to use the rays properly, that she decided that it was really important for her to do this class specifically on the rays. And
that's
again,
a lie. God decided.
Oh, okay. God decided that.
I didn't decide it. God told Ferris, and Ferris told me, because Ferris is also God,
Don't tell him that.
So I agreed to show up, be willing, show up, and look as good as I can. That's my job. And say whatever your soul needs to hear.
Okay, we have 7 new messages here.
Oh, you know what, Maureen, you're right. On iPads, and a lot of people are on iPads, there is no hand. There is a way to raise your hand with iPads. I have no idea what it is, because I hate iPads. Okay, I don't hate
mine, but Barbara has her hand up, so we can go ahead and unmute her.
Okay. Did you do it?
I wanted to explain about raising a hand.
Thank you.
Okay.
So if below the pictures, next to where it says chat and share and participants,
Mm-hmm.
click on participants and it'll show at the top. It'll show just where it's right above the chat notes. It'll list people's names. It has participants, how many. And then there are things like yes, no. And on the left side of that little bar, it says hand. It shows a blue hand up.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Can you see if you can find that?
And I really like the way you're pointing to where it is.
I use my hand a lot. So,
Okay.
so you
That makes me feel more normal.
Oh, good.
We need all the help we can get with the technology part, Barbara. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we also have Mary's hand up. Mary.
Which Mary? Mary Fuchsa, Mary Basse.
Basse. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
There she is.
How are you doing?
Here I am. Oh, I'm much better. Thank you for asking. I would just a couple of things. Thank you for doing this on the 49 rays, because even though I have the book and I helped read that with you and go over it, it took me forever to try and figure it out. It is so fantastic, but so much information. So having this class is just going to help everyone, and especially me.
Okay.
I don't know why, especially me, just because I feel like I need that help.
Because it's you.
It's especially you, because you are one of the main people who's willing to use it.
I try. It works.
Mhm.
I mean, sometimes I don't know exactly whether most of the time, I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but I go for it. And I have seen it change, like when we had the hurricanes here last summer, and, used the 20th and 21st, and it changed the direction of that storm that was heading right towards us. And once you actually see
Once you see results, you're more inclined to do it, right?
But there's so many more than just the few that I've used, and
Right. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. You'd think when I channeled the book and I glue all those cards together, you would think I have it memorized. No, I can't. I haven't got it all in my brain. Yeah.
I had one other question, and I've had a lot of people. I always do the grounding, the 2-minute grounding. I love it. It's just part of me.
Can we hang on just 1 second? Jan, you can sign up for the Raise class on Energized Living Today website, okay? Right?
And there's a link. There is a link if you
Right towards
scroll
the
up.
top of chat, you'll see a link to it. And there'll be a link in the replay email as well.
Okay. Go ahead, Mary.
With regard to the grounding, I've had a lot of people say, well, I do it this way or that way, and mine's faster, which I don't know how you can go faster than, I guess you can. There's different ways of doing it. I guess my question is, as long as you feel that you're grounded, that's the intention. And
well, the beauty of this method is that you're not just grounded, but remember when you do the pumping of your arms and you pump up the 3 bubbles of energy around your body, you pump up a white bubble of energy that's 12 feet from your body, a pink ray of energy that's 8 feet from your body, and a purple bubble of energy that is 4 feet in all directions from your body. So when you go out in public and there are people who need energy, they can take it out of the white bubble and you don't even feel it. And there are people on the planet who like to steal other people's energy, and they can get to the white one and the pink one. But the purple one is your own personal protected energy. And there's only about 12 people on the planet who could get into there. And fortunately for us, they're all in caves in the Himalayas, and we aren't likely to run into them at the Walmart. And so we're going to be pretty damn safe when we go out in public if we're willing to spend 2 minutes and do it. And if not, God help you. That's all I can say.
And another thing I've learned is that right after I do that, I connect with the galactic sun and do that whole thing. And when I forget to do that, maybe it's just up here, but there's something that's just not quite as flowing, or I don't know what the word is. But throughout it just makes a difference for me too. So
yeah. Yeah, it's very empowering to plug into our galactic sun. And the two masters that hold our sun in place are Helios and Vesta. When the great central sun at the center of the Milky Way holds many universes together. So you can imagine, hopefully, if you pull that power into our sun and our sun into your body and you give it to the earth through the grounding that you've done, it's going to amp up your own vibration because it passed through you. And so you're even more strongly connected to your soul when you send that beam of energy up into all the levels of your oversoul. And if you remember to connect to the ascended master octave of light, then you are potentially telepathically connected to all the masters of this universe.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. Thank you. I know that I do it sometimes, but not regularly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But you will get to be perfect. You're on your way to being perfect.
Well, I hope so, because I've certainly been aiming for it for a long time.
It takes practice, you know. When I first woke up, I was so empathic that I couldn't even go in a grocery store and get all the way to the milk without running out of the grocery store because there were so many negative thought forms in the grocery store back then. Mm-hmm. And so God had to give me a way to overcome being empathic in order that I could stand to be here. You know? So I know it works, even though it doesn't cost anything.
Stephania?
Yeah, I know.
Hi there.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
darling.
I'm so happy to be here. And look at the number of how many people we are here today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you something specifically, that beautiful crystal that you brought me back from Colombia. I just left it on my desk. I've never done anything with it. And then I let my daughter buy it. And then this morning in meditation, they said, you have to use that crystal tonight. And I'm like, but it's not here. I let somebody borrow. So I went to my daughter's house and got the crystal back. But now we know what it was for. I always like that. I like to know later what's this for. You know?
I told you it was for you.
Okay.
Yes, good. Okay. Talking about the suns, because look that I've been doing this for years, but sometimes I think you first ground in the central core of Mother Earth. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That sometimes I say central core of Mother Earth, sometimes I say the great central sun, even I say.
It's same thing, different word. Same
okay,
thing.
This is the first one. And then when you talk about the galactic sun and the sun in our galaxy, which one is the one you mean we see?
The one we see, yeah.
The one we see?
Yes.
Is the sun in our galaxy?
It's our solar sun. Yeah.
Solar sun.
Solar.
And then galactic sun and the sun in our galaxy is
our galaxy is the same. Yeah.
Okay, and then that's the thing. Because always, if I know and I feel it when I do it, sometimes my mind, when I get involved, I'm not getting this right,
Yeah.
I'm confused, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Bless your heart. You're so literal. Bless your heart. That is not good that we use more than one terminology, because that makes it confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I sense it, and I when I do it, I can feel it. I'm there, and it's all connected. But
Right.
sometimes, and I said, sometimes I have thought to ask, but never ask. Good. And then the 27, we won't have classes until, and then we have the WISAC.
Yeah, we are having a Namaste gathering
Wedding.
in Oklahoma City over WESOC, which is in May 6, 7, 8, I think. And you're all invited, and the information about that will be on the blog. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the website, but it will be on the Namaste blog, which is namasteconsciousness.com.
Yes, and I would like a personal, bueno, not directly personal, but you know, there is our nephew, who is 1 year old and is in Germany, is Mark's, my husband, brother's son. Right now, they even put him in intensive care. And then the one that is passing all the information is my mother-in-law. Apparently has been 2 weeks with high fever, but it's something going on in Germany, because the grandfather in German have it, and then the father of the baby, the mother, the sister. But the baby is like very, very sick, high fever. They ended up a few days ago putting him in intensive care. Suddenly, my mother-in-law called me yesterday and said, oh, they're going to put him to sleep on Friday to put a camera in his lung. When she first told me 3 days ago, when I knew about this, that has been happening for a while, and she asked for prayer, I said, hey, I would like to assist him from here, you know, with all the different things. And then she said, no, I just asked him for prayer. And has been impossible for me to connect with the parents. You know, they don't really answer the phones. I send this, blah, blah, blah. And then I am in that thinking, I should not intervene. There is a part of me that wants to go for an assist a little, you know, because things I do in the end is like prayer too. And then I'm confused what to do. Did you follow what I explained?
Sort of. I don't always get it, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because we're from 2 different places. But
I know.
yeah. First of all, you would need permission from the parents to
Yes.
work on the parents, Okay? Don't need permission to work on the baby.
On the baby,
Right.
baby. No,
on the baby only. You have permission to work on the baby.
I do. Yes. I wasn't.
But not the parents.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the baby.
Yes,
the baby.
you have permission to work on the baby. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Good. All
Okay.
right. It's great that this perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I just got out on time from China. I came the 23.
I know. I'm glad you got out of there and got back here before all of that happened. Yeah.
Because they literally canceled the flights with United the week after. That is the company I was flying with. I don't know about the other ones, but
wow.
See, you are protected, obviously.
Yes, they are well taken care.
Yes.
And there was a lot of work done there, I believe so. That probably is helping also all what's going on here and what we did today, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, I think it's time to say goodnight.
I've been struggling with a severe asthma or something. Thank you, BJ. Okay.
All right, let's just check and make sure there's nothing else here. And BJ, I wanted to share something before we say goodnight. And that is during the meditation, when you started talking about the diamond light, I felt the diamond light kind of all over. And then it's like it started searching my body. And when it connected to the spleen, my whole system lighted up. I could feel my whole system light up, and I saw places of red and a bunch of places of green. And then all of a sudden it turned green. Everything turned green. And my whole system just lit up, and it startled me because I wasn't expecting anything like that. It was kind of a shock. What is that about?
It's about being healed. It's about having the intention to be healed. And even if you don't know anything's wrong with your spleen, God knows. And when God sends down the energy, then it goes wherever it needs to go. Yeah.
Well, it was like it was a portal to the rest of my body. The spleen took in the energy and it just went everywhere. I mean, it was all over. So
That's good.
That was something.
Yeah, it's good to feel something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Cindy,
Yes.
after you got this vaccination and you said you've been sick
Yes.
and you have a lot of issues with it, why don't you call in Ascended Master Saint Germain, the violet flame of transmutation, to transmute all that?
Yes, I've got right up here in front of me. I've got Saint Germain right up here. And
Here on the screen, it says that the spleen is the energy distributors. What someone has written here.
Oh.
The spleen is the energy distributor.
oh, really? Oh,
So
well, that's cool.
yeah, that's cool.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's cool. Dolores, thank you for that, because I haven't done that in a couple days, and I look up here to.
I was guided to really tell you that,
Yeah.
because that's very powerful,
Mm-hmm.
that violet flame.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Good to be back with you
love.
all and all the new
Looking forward to the
people.
49 rays.
Yeah.
Yes,
We'll
So-
see you again on the 27th. Yeah.
that'll be awesome, everybody. And just click on the link on the side.
Go forth and don't go forth and don't multiply.
And everybody's on.
No worries.
I love,
Bye, Lisa, Donna.
I love you.
Good night,
Namaste.
everybody.
Love you,
love
BJ.
you. Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Right.
Hi.